All right, y'all. Welcome. Um, Thank you all for being patient with us.
Yes.
I know it's been a long time since we posted to this channel. That I mean, we had we had a plan in mind, like for this channel. It was gonna be about our personal lives and baby stuff and just things of that nature. Of course, we can't. We Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is we went through a miscarriage. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you all know. And
'Cause I think I made a post on. Did I make a post? I can't remember how
yeah,
we made the announcement. But
I know
yes.
we actually spoke about it in one of our videos on the other channel, on the Fit Minds channel. We informed you all, but we didn't go into detail. And I think part of the reason we didn't go into detail was still new, it was still fresh, and we were still trying to figure out actually what happened, which we're going to get into what happened on this video. So we're just here to tell you all what happened and our plans going forward and what we plan to do and where the direction of this channel is going to go. And while we talk about it, Amber got some great footage of you were going home, going to the store, and
Yeah.
then
So I
home.
think on this day I had to show up, and a show up just means you show up for 4 hours at work, see if anything becomes available as far as like a run or a trick. And if nothing becomes available, then you go home after the 4 hours, but get paid for 8. So that's a really cool feature that we have for benefit. So I think this day, because it's so sun is out, and with us being on the PM, we don't get off when the sun is out. So I beat my show up, so I'm on my way home. But in commute to home, I actually stopped and I stopped to at Star Mac Produce because I need to pick up some ingredients rather, so I can make some homemade sofrito.
Yeah, so we hope y'all enjoying the footage. We'll enjoy the footage.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. So, of course, as you all know, on this pregnancy journey, we were going through IVF, and we actually So before this last transfer, Amber had the surgery to get rid of the fibroids, and
Yeah.
that was successful, and we moved on from there to try again. And so this was the first time we got a successful pregnancy. Like we got to 3-4 months pregnant, right?
Yeah. I was 10 weeks.
Okay, so
Going on 3.
going on 3.
Yeah.
So at this point, we
Excuse all the
knew.
pitter patters, and let me put my phone on.
Yeah,
I
sorry, y'all.
apologize.
Chicken is really, she's really going
Animated
through one
right now. Yeah.
But just bear with us. We're trying to work through this. So as you all know, the previous videos, you saw that we were able to get pregnant. We were able to conceive with a successful transfer. So this was like our first time, like, oh man, it actually worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Because the embryo had implanted.
right,
Yeah.
implanted, and then what was that? 10 days later, you do the pregnancy test, or 2 weeks later. But we actually did the pregnancy test on our own, and we knew that hey, we were pregnant, and
Yeah.
it was such an exciting moment. And then of course getting the blood work done, which was the next day, I believe.
Yeah.
Next day or two.
Yeah.
So we were all excited and just like, you guys saw the video. We were just like taken back. We were just like us.
Yeah.
Like it's finally happening for us, right?
Yeah.
You remember that time?
I literally remember like it was yesterday, dude, and I know that was like earlier this year because we were in the process of like trying to find a new apartment, the process of trying to get to a different line at work. So there was so many things that were going on, but on the bright side of it is that we were going through this embryo transfer and getting pregnant, and our very first time having a successful embryo transfer where we implanted and we got a positive pregnancy test at home, and then we went to do the blood work, and that was even double confirmation rather. So I remember like it was yesterday. when you were like, I think we should go get a pregnancy test and test at home. And yeah.
So we were successful with that. Kind of fast forward a little bit. You were working at the time, and then you went through the issue where you had a defective train, which you tried to troubleshoot, and you took ill because you were trying to, you did something strenuous.
Yeah, so when I had issues with my brakes. And when I went track level to cut out my brakes, I felt like a strong cramp. And I was nervous. And I remember, I think that happened at Jefferson Park. I was troubleshooting at track level at Jefferson Park. I think by the time the next stop, I started to feel the cramps. And I remember calling Adrian. I can't remember what station I literally I birthed my train. I called Adrian. He's like, you need to.
It was at Damon, Milwaukee.
Yeah. So I was at Western when I called you actually. He was like, you need to call for medical, whatever. So by the time I got to Damon, I called control like, hey, I need medical. And I had called over the phone, and luckily it was one of our really close friends and coworkers, Ote. He was the controller that day. And I told him on the phone like, hey, I'm pregnant. I need medical. I feel cramps. I need to make sure me and my baby are okay. And so he went over the air and was like, hey, 126 asked for medical due to her. And he went quiet. And I'm like, oh no, what is he going to say? Like, oh no, like, not like I'm trying to keep it a secret, but like, oh no, like, how are you going to address it? And of course he had to keep it honest. And he was like, due to her pregnancy. And it was like so instant. Like, I went to Damon. I sat down. I went. The supervisor came to get my train so they can start doing the supervisor relay, which means they just take over operations. I went downstairs to the CA booth, and maybe like 2-3 minutes later, the ambulance had already arrived. So I was grateful that they arrived so quickly. I was grateful that Ote was my controller because he knew what was happening personally outside of work, and so it was scary. And it was a learning experience through that, right? We know, or I know rather, I'm not going down there to troubleshoot something that strenuous like Adrian had mentioned.
Or it's not even that. It's the fact of requesting for help. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's something that you didn't do. Like,
No,
and I was
no,
telling
no.
what?
I remember when I got to Jeff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you have to do it in a manner that's appropriate. You didn't do it in an appropriate manner. Because I've heard women that were, and we're going to get into it, but this isn't what caused the miscarriage.
Yeah.
But we're just recapping because it's been so long. But I've heard women that were troubleshooting their train that couldn't open a particular door or compartment, and they either got assistance or they said, just continue and we'll intercept you. You didn't do that. So which thinking back about it, I was really upset with you, and I'm glad we're talking about it because this can help other women in this situation. Because if it's something that, like, if you got any inkling in your head that, hey, I probably shouldn't be doing this, or I probably should get the appropriate help, then you shouldn't do it. So this is in hopes of helping you all, that may be watching this as well. If it's any situation that you've been put in at work where you like, I don't think I should be doing this. Everybody don't know about my pregnancy, so to speak. And that's pretty much what it was. And nobody knew. So for you to just say, oh, I need some assistance troubleshooting something that's regular that you wouldn't need help with, nobody knows.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, you had to take ownership on that because you dropped the ball, because if you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of the baby.
Yeah.
There is no baby without you.
And if I don't take care of myself, no one else is going to take care of me.
Exactly. Nobody else is going to take care of you the way you're going to take care of you. Or if I'm going to look out for you, I'm going to make sure you succeed in whatever you're trying to do. Somebody else, they're going to, it's sad to say, they're going to pass the buck.
Yeah.
So y'all protect yourselves out there, and that's self-preservation is what I'm trying to say, because nobody else is going to look out for you like you're going to look out for you. So that happened, and which caused you to be out of work because they took you out of service because at that point you became a risk
A liability, yeah.
and they took you out of service. So you were at home for like a month or two or what?
I
A
think
month and
it
a half?
probably was, yeah, it probably had to be. I think before the pick happened, I came. What we went to our first OB appointment, and at that point, that's when we actually found out. We went to OB appointment. We were excited, right? We took the bus. We were filming and all that to like share with you guys, our progress. And when we got there, literally me and Andrew had smiles from ear to ear, like, oh my God, we're going to the baby for the first time, whatever, hear a heartbeat. And I'm, on the chair, legs up. Adrian's there holding my hand. The doctor's there, doing the ultrasound. And her face was like neutral the whole time, the doctor's face. And then Adrian, I'm looking at him. He had a smile, and then it would just like started going down. Like it was like you could just watch a movie of someone's face, like just their whole mood was changing. And so
Yeah.
I just knew something wasn't right before they even said a thing, because I didn't see what they saw on the monitor. And then that's when she was like, "I'm so sorry. Like we don't see a heartbeat." And she had someone else, I think, come in.
No, that's not what she said. She said, I don't see a heartbeat. In these cases, I asked for a second opinion. Hold on, I'm gonna go get someone.
Okay, there you
It
go.
didn't it wasn't all at once like that. It
Okay.
was so from my perspective, I'm looking at her and I'm looking at the screen and I know from experience, when you're looking at the ultrasound screen, it's more lively than what it is than what I saw. So I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at the doctor, I'm like, some ain't right. Like I can tell. And then that's when she said what she said and she was going to go get someone. And I was just like, what? I'm just sitting there like, what? Like kind of like in a daze, but still like optimistic. And that's when she went to go get the other doctor, and she was like, "I'm so sorry," after she took a look, of course. And then from there, they moved us to another room, and she came in shortly after that to talk to us and go over options with us
And
about
Adrian was
next
so
step.
kind, because right when they were saying what was happening, he just said, it's gonna be okay. Because I just kept looking at him like, oh my God, like, and of course tears in my eyes. I'm like, what the heck? He just was so encouraging. I know that wasn't easy for you to be in that
Yeah,
mindset,
uh,
you know.
yeah, to shine some light on it, like talk about experiencing death, right? I've been at work where I've experienced, people dying in front of me, and you kind of it sucks, but it's like you kind of become numb to that stuff when you see it so much, and it's just like, wait a second, am I experiencing my own, form of losing someone, and like, wow, like this
His
is
different.
yeah, it's different. And I'm just trying to use specific words and terms so y'all can probably understand like what I was feeling and like what was going on. And I think initially I was just like, wait, like it was like an eerie feeling, but I knew that I had to push on because I feel and I still feel that it was a test for us.
Yeah.
Like this journey has been a test to see how we were going to handle it and if we were going to push through. And I can say that I'm glad that I had that optimistic mindset. I'm glad that I was able to console you because I couldn't imagine being in your shoes because it's like, having a child die inside of you, it's like, it's not like a body where it's like on the outside they can kind of like get rid of it right then and there. We actually had to get the DNC and they had to go from it basically surgery
Yeah,
to
and
get it taken
luckily it
out.
was the next day. Like there
Yeah,
was
they moved
luckily,
fast,
and
Northwestern.
Yeah, because they, of course, the facility that we went to, because it was separate than Northwestern, because Northwestern didn't have any open availability so soon that we needed. So this facility, they were gonna offer us, to do the surgery to take care of, the remains of, the fetus, and so the embryo rather. And so, like, yes, we had she had given us the time to think about what we wanted to do, and then we were like, no, well, let's just call our doctor at Northwestern, see if they can get us in, so we can like do testing and whatever the case that needs to follow after that. And luckily, they did have something available literally the next afternoon or next morning. And Adrian, I think, did you go to work that day or?
I believe I took you. I was there.
Okay, right. Sorry, I couldn't remember. So we went the next morning. They, went in, like you said, DNC. They just go in, they scrape everything down. Of course, they take DNA. They did testing so we can try to figure out what happened and why it happened. Because we didn't do any testing, any embryo testing before we did the transfer. We just went with the flow of it. Whatever happens, happens. We were gonna be okay with rather whatever happened. So.
So after that, the DNC, it was like I guess like a road to recovery. But
Yeah.
one thing you didn't talk about is the fact of like actually talking to our family. I think you kind of skipped over that, like letting our family know. I remember on the drive home, the initial drive home, like telling our family that was kind of the hardest thing to do. I remember calling my mom, and I actually had to wait to tell my mom because I was kind of like I didn't want to let her down, and so I like mustered up enough strength to let her know the next day, and man, my mom was like distraught. I never seen my mom react like that. It was almost like I told her that one of us had passed,
Yeah.
like one of her own kids. And she was just like, I can't even talk to you all right now.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was tough pill after tough pill. And then I remember you had your mom and your sisters on the phone and you were letting them
Yeah, I
know.
had texted them like, "Hey, I need to call you guys." And of course, I think I don't think all three of them. So my two sisters and my mom were on the phone. I think it was just one of them, one of my sisters and my mom, and same reaction. They were heartbroken. My mom was almost like hysterical in a sense, and I couldn't, because she was so hysterical, and I was already in my own fields and my own process journey of that. Like I couldn't be on the phone with them for too long. But they were, of course, Kayla was the one that was on the phone. I talked to Alexa afterwards, but she was so supportive, and she's like, "How are you feeling? How are you and Adrian doing?" And so, like any loss, right? You're not obviously happy, but they were happy that we both were okay and that we would be okay even through this loss. So yeah, it was definitely a hard pill to swallow and to even process, to even tell your loved ones, because as much as of that's our baby, it was their baby
Oh
too,
yeah, they were like already spoiling it and stuff
Yeah,
like
dude.
that.
Yeah.
And then, once that all settled in, then we were like, man, we got to come out and we got to tell our family on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that was so hard
Yeah.
for us to do. But we, like I said, we stayed optimistic. We were like, man, we're going to try this thing again. We're going to dust ourselves off.
Yeah.
We're going to do this thing. Like, we're gonna keep trying. We said
Yeah.
win, lose, draw, whatever, that we were gonna stick it out.
Yeah.
Right? We were
Yeah.
gonna we want to have a child. We want to have children. So we were gonna stick it out, and we were gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
So we got the genetic testing done. Genetic testing done on the embryo. It wasn't an embryo. It's at this point it's a fetus.
It was like right in between the transition between from embryo to fetus, because
Okay.
it was so pretty early on.
Okay. Yeah. And what they found out was it had an
Extra
extra
22 chromosome.
22 chromosome, and they said that that was very rare for that to happen, and that they can't detect it early on. It's just one of those things that they would have to. The baby has the. It doesn't last. The baby won't survive to the second trimester. That's the body's way of pushing it out or whatever, and not keeping it.
I did a little research, not too much, of the extra 22, and even babies that were born with that extra 22, like they made it past the to live birth, they didn't live long anyway. So
Okay.
it was, it does
Yeah.
make it past the second trimester. However, it just didn't.
One thing that I that I caught that you didn't go over was the point where you had it started bleeding. Remember that? Remember the first ultrasound we went to, the doctor was saying that there was a hematoma or something like that, and it'll cause bleeding.
Yeah.
And don't be alarmed that it'll heal itself. And I remember sitting at the table and you got up and I'm like, oh my God, you bleeding. Like, look at your seat.
Yeah.
And so, like, come to think about it, that was probably the starting point of the miscarriage.
Yeah.
So we didn't think any big deal over it.
Because she kind of reassured us,
Yeah,
the doctor. She was like,
yeah.
"Hey, I had it. We've had multiple women have this type of, this blood mass. Really, is what it was." She said, "When as a baby grows and the uterus kind of starts developing with the baby, is gonna push it out, and so you might experience bleeding." And so, like you said, when we saw the bleeding, we didn't immediately think, "Oh no, something's wrong."
Right.
So
So then, let's see. After all that, we found out what happened, and we had a meeting with the doctor that went over everything with us, and she was more enthusiastic about it, I think, than we were, and we were pretty enthusiastic about
yeah.
continuing to try and like being in good spirits. We was just like, yeah, we're gonna go in there in this meeting and we're gonna like say, hey, we want to do this, we still want to continue. And she was just like, look, we know now it can happen, you can get pregnant.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
this is the first time after having the fibroids removed that it was successful, like right away.
Yeah.
And we were like, right, we were thinking the same thing, like, yeah, let's continue to go.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a coworker recommended, like, oh, you guys want a second opinion? Maybe you can go where we went.
Yeah.
And we had a
dude.
doctor appointment with that doctor, and that doctor was like, matter of fact, you guys are in good hands because I trained the doctor that you have, and the doctor that took your fibroids out, I've known him for years,
for 30 plus years,
and he's one of the best. Like, when they talk about
small circle,
when they talk about Dr. Malad, they talk about him like he's one of the best doctors in the country, if not the world. Like, I think this guy is like world renowned. Like,
yeah, dude.
And he was just like, look, I wish I had something I could point out for y'all, but y'all in good hands. Like, you might as well just stay on the course of action that you own. Like, it's just a matter of time. Every time you try to conceive, naturally, there's like a 15% chance every month. Like, chances aren't that high to conceive on your own anyway.
Yeah.
And he was just like, you guys are in good hands. Like, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And see what happens. So we decided we want to keep going, and we so happy to share this journey with y'all, and just, we are still happy.
Yeah.
If anything I want to get across, we still happy. We still in good spirits. We got each other.
Yes.
Man, it's going to happen. It's a matter of time. We still want to go forward with this YouTube channel and just bring y'all along for the journey, and man, just help others, so they can see that, man, I'm not alone, or they going through something similar. Like, yeah, like, that's what we want.
And like Adrian said at the beginning of the video, we appreciate your patience and your constant support and checking in, and part of us processing and grieving this loss was kind of taking a step away from filming during the last like few months. I think it's been since the miscarriage, and our way, I think, of processing and kind of moving forward, we're doing videos on the other channel. So if you saw us on the other channel, like we appreciate the love and support over there too. But and I know we've had people say like, oh, this is why you don't say nothing so quickly when you get pregnant. But it's like, that's part of the problem, is that no one talks about the beginning stages of pregnancy and even the beginning stages of loss when you miscarry so early on. Because no one talks about it, because there's almost like society like shuns you for saying that you're pregnant before you're 12 weeks pregnant. And it's like, no, I want to share this from day one with everybody, because there's not enough, I feel like there's not enough stories and videos out there of women that go through the same exact thing you're going through, because it's just society puts this negative light on it. So we're just here to tell you that we're doing okay. We're doing well, actually. We're doing great. And we're excited for the new journey of trying again.
Yeah, and I'm glad you segue into that, because it's like, where do we go from here, right? We said we want to continue. So actually today, we'll post this video the day that we're recording this. So we're up for a new transfer, you know, as we speak. So you have to reach out to the doctor's office your first day of bleeding or menstrual cycle. And that was today. So we messaged them, and they're going to get us in. You know, you have to do the blood work and ultrasounds to make sure your levels are increasing or wherever they want them, so we can do the actual transfer. So y'all, the content is back popping. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to push this stuff out. We're going to push it out on YouTube, TikTok, you know, and just go from there. We're going to have some morning blogs where I'm going to have to get them shots again. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I gotta get back to these shots.
Everyone knows, really me, I'm talking to myself here. I know what to do at work when I'm pregnant again, what to do and what not to do. And because I have to stick this out as long as I can physically when I'm pregnant and operating.
Until the program picks you up.
Yeah, because I mean, the program that we have at work, they did pick me up, but it was time off until a spot opened up at the bus garage, and that wasn't going to be until maybe like June or July, maybe around this time. So I would have been at home without pay for like 2-3 months. And I'm not trying to do that again, even though I didn't go that long. Look, we got bills to pay at the end of the day. I have a family to provide for, so I know what to do this time around. So yeah.
So yeah, y'all, we gonna keep these videos consistent with this channel. Yeah. And I just want to deeper dive into, like, I enjoyed doing the shots and you know, the preparation for the transfer last time. But I think I really want to live in the moment and enjoy it some more, and just like, you know, just like really enjoy this transfer this time, and just continuing to stay optimistic and just enjoying myself, because I enjoy making these videos. I asked my mom, I said, how you like that second channel where we do the pregnancy journey? She said, I love that channel. I said, I do too. I like it. It is so niche. We take public transit to doctor's visits.
Or I drive once in a while. If time is pressing. Yeah.
And I think I share with you, I said, I've never, out of all these journeys and stuff, you see tons of pregnancy journeys on YouTube. None of them take public transit to get to their doctor's appointment. Dude. I'm talking about, we're going to be in labor, talking about something. Hold on, let's get this number 76. Let's take the 76 and get it downtown, and then maybe we can Uber from there. But y'all, like, I love the fact of that we take public transit and we incorporate that into these videos. It's just like, look, if anything, I can enjoy just looking at the footage and just, you know, enjoy myself, you know, with the footage alone. Now you put a good story over it. Yeah. one of our coworkers, he a bus operator. He ran into Amber. He say, "Man, y'all stuff like a soap opera, man."
No, he was like, yeah. He was like, it's like a novela. Excuse me. I'm like, yeah, it is, ain't it? He's like, you guys are funny. You guys are humble. You guys are great people. He's like, keep doing those videos. We love to watch it. He's like, I'm literally just on my phone just watching you guys do what you do, and it's so great. I'm like, thank you. I met him last night, Ellie, on Kimball. So thank you so much, Ellie, and everyone that's watching.
Yeah, y'all. So I can't stress enough. Thank you all for supporting us.
Yeah.
This channel, the other channel. I just get so excited about this stuff. This stuff keeps me going. I love creating this content, and I love helping people.
Yeah.
And just giving back. This is my way of giving back to the community. This is my way of doing my part. So when it's time for me to go lay in that box, I can feel good about the legacy that I've left. So as always, God bless you. God bless your family. And man, I hope y'all get everything y'all want this year and beyond.
That's so beautiful. Bye, y'all. See you on the next one.